Hello, everyone. It's Min Ling from Brand Fame School. I'm super excited to be here today to talk about this business myth. For those of you who don't know who I am a brand strategist and coach, and I help people build their own IT brand by getting clear on their core message and creating a standout brand. So I'm super excited to be here today. I've been doing a couple scopes every day just to give you some business tips and just advice as well too on how to build up your brand. Super excited to talk about this subject, which is all around the business myth: build it and they will come. So let's go ahead and get started. So super excited you're here. Go ahead and let me know where you're coming in from, if you're on Scope or live stream on Facebook. I'm doing both at the same time. So go ahead and let me know who you are and where you're coming in from, if you may. So I'd love to get to know people. So how many people are excited about this topic, about understanding like this business myth, build it and they will come? Tap the screen for some hearts or some likes so that I know you guys are excited about this topic. Well, first of all, a lot of people believe that, when they have a good product, people will just naturally come. So what I see a lot of entrepreneurs do, and the mistake that I see a lot of entrepreneurs make, is that they get these like big ideas of what they want to create, the products or the service, and they go after it. They invest time, energy, and money into these things, and they assume that people will come because it's such a great product and it's such a great idea. What happens though is that people don't necessarily buy, and you end up getting crickets. And the way to circumvent this is to really understand whether or not your product or service is something that people actually want versus something that people need. What I see entrepreneurs do is that they're like, oh my gosh, it would be great if I create this product because they need that. They need this thing to go ahead and improve their lives or whatever, improve their business, whatever you're in, right? And so you go out and create it. I've done this myself when I first started my business. I'm like, oh my gosh, people need to understand this, so I want to create something so that they can understand it. However, the problem with this mentality is that your ideal clients may not know that they need this or even want it. And so what happens is when you launch it, people don't buy because they can't see why they need it, what the urgency is, why they would want it. And so when this happens, people don't buy. So when you create a product or service, you have to find the intersection where people actually see that it's a big problem that they need solved and that they actually want to solve this problem. That's something that a lot of people miss. When you don't do this, it's harder to convince somebody to buy it when they already don't think about it or they don't even recognize that it is a problem. For example, I was talking to a woman yesterday about her business, and it was about she wanted to help men and help men over addiction, and the reason why she wanted to help men over addiction, it was more because of their deep-seated issues that they were dealing with from their childhood, that she wanted to help them clear and unblock. Well, when we were talking about this, a lot of men, just in general, a lot of people don't realize that, the symptoms that they're facing are related to a deeper problem. And so when you try to create a product that is going after the deeper problem, they may not realize that they actually need or want this. So you have to find where your ideal clients are in the scale and how well they know themselves to even want this product or service. Otherwise, you're going to be pushing a boulder up a mountain and you'll be like, you need this product, but people will be like, why do I need it? So you really have to think about your products and service from your ideal client's perspective and what the benefit is for them to purchase. And it has to be from their point of view. You have to sit at where they are currently. You can't think about, well, this is going to benefit them because it's going to, change, their eating habits and they're going to be healthy and all this stuff. Well, that might not be in their psyche already. We're not here to teach them necessarily, or convince them to buy a product. If it's not already in their psyche, it's harder to convince people to actually need to want it. So you need to, instead of starting with your product or service, you need to start thinking about it from your client's perspective, where they are at right now. What issues are they dealing with right this second? What would get them to want to go to the next step with you? Sometimes, when we're creating stuff, we're like, oh, we have the answer. Just come with me. I have the answer for you. But the people that you're serving may not already feel that, and they need to be led along. You want to put in like breadcrumbs, right? You want to lead them step by step by step, because they may not know that they need it. And so when you're doing it step by step and you're leaving breadcrumbs, you're leading them to solve this bigger problem. But you don't want to necessarily start with the bigger problem to solve. You might want to start with a smaller problem, something that they recognize that they need, and then build on that. Because if they don't have the recognition, then they're not going to buy your bigger things that you're putting out. And that's why this build it and they'll come methodology doesn't work. You got to figure out and meet your ideal clients where they are at now. Otherwise, they can't make that leap. It doesn't make sense in their brain. They can't see why they need to make that leap. And you have to also, when you're meeting your ideal clients where they are, you also need to help them bridge that gap into really understanding the urgency behind needing this thing that you're creating. Does this make sense? If this makes sense, go ahead and tap the screens for some hearts or some likes, depending on which platform you are on. Ooh, I can't talk today. And then you can also comment below as well too. Would love to hear your feedback on this. This is a problem that I see a lot of entrepreneurs make. They aren't starting where their ideal clients are at right now. What they actually see is a problem. They think, they're thinking it from their perspective, their perspective. The entrepreneur is thinking from their own perspective versus their ideal client's perspective, and that makes it difficult for somebody who's their ideal clients to automatically jump, because you've already made that conclusion. You already see how two pieces go together, how to connect the two things. But your ideal client has not connected those dots, and that's why you need to help them where they are at now, and then start to slowly build and tweak and help them get to where you believe the real change happens. Does this make sense? Hopefully this is making sense to all you guys out there in the Periscope and Facebook Live world. But you really need to understand this piece, because otherwise you're going to be building products and services that people don't want and won't buy, and you'll be wondering why nobody wants it. You have to understand where your ideal clients are currently, what their current mindset is, what they're currently thinking, and cater to that. Even though that might not be the root issue that you're solving, when you market to them, you gotta start with what they already think that they need or recognize that they want. Otherwise, it's going to be too big of a jump for them to buy your products or service, and that's how you will have crickets when you sell something. People don't necessarily see how this is going to benefit them in the situation that they're at now. You got to tie it back to where they are currently, and you got to tie it back to the urgency in order for people to go ahead and make that purchase. So that's pretty much what I just wanted to talk about today, because it's really important to understand this piece, because when you build something, you of course want to get it out there, but if you build it without thinking about these things, then it's harder for you to sell down the road. if you want to learn more about how you can make a bigger impact and create more clients in your business, talking about these subjects, I'm doing a free call later today at 3 p.m. Eastern. It's called How to Make a Big Impact in Your Industry and Book More Clients. And I'm going to walk you through the mistakes that a lot of entrepreneurs make, what you need to do instead, so that you can get your clients to see what it is the value that you bring, and you want to do it again from your client's perspective and meet them where they are at right now. And so we're going to go over that on the training today. You can go to brandfameschool.com/big impact to go ahead and sign up. Again, it's brandfameschool.com/big impact. That is where you'll be able to sign up, get the information about today's call, and yeah, and that's it. So I'll be back tomorrow to talk about another topic to help you build your business and build your brand. And I look forward to talking to you then. Bye, everyone.